Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Basic Yoga Flow. My name is Pamela, and thank you so much for joining me today. Okay, we will be working on a bit of binding poses today, so I would highly suggest to stand by either a towel, okay, so something long enough that you can hold on to. If you don't have a towel, maybe a tie or a strap, okay, and the usual 2 blocks would be great if you know your hamstrings are a little bit tighter. Okay, so if you don't have blocks, please replace them with thick books or even just 2 water bottles of roughly the same height. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to stay in a seated position for a while. If you want to, feel free to sit on a block. Elevate your hips. Okay, so sit up a little bit taller, resting your palms on your knees. Nice, it could be facing upwards or down. See what comes naturally to you. And very gently close your eyes. Nice, and start to draw your awareness inwards. As you begin to notice your breath moving in and out through your nose. Just giving your body some time to settle in as you arrive on your mat. Okay, keeping your breath smooth and gentle. And just perhaps practice same count breathing. So you might be taking 4, 5, or 6 seconds to inhale today. And take equal time to exhale. And just observing how your belly expands and your chest rises as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, your belly deflates, your chest softens. As you continue to notice the flow of your breath, use this time to let go of anything that doesn't serve you over the next 45 minutes. So you're letting go of any thoughts and any distractions that you had before stepping onto your mat this afternoon. Okay, couple more rounds here with your eyes still closed. Very nice. Now on your next inhalation, blink open your eyes very gently. Nice. Now with your eyes open, start to stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Interlacing your fingers, flip your palms upwards, okay, like you want to push the ceiling away from you. Okay, so keep the sides of your waist long, stretch up. And just for the next few moments, sway gently left to right. Okay, so as you swing left to right, keep the shoulders squaring forward. Okay, so you're not collapsing the top arm. You're not looking down. Shoulders squaring to the front. And sway left to right. Nice, easy side stretch here. All right, come back to center. From here, twist on your exhale, lower the right hand down to your left knee. Left hand on the mat behind your back. Okay, so take an inhale, lengthen from the base of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. On your exhale, you're going to twist from your navel upwards. Okay, so twisting vertebrae by vertebrae. And perhaps looking past your left shoulder or just look to the side. Okay, so your right hand is resisting your left leg. Nice. Now inhale back to center. Stretch your arms overhead once again. Seated cat and cow, interlacing your fingers. Flip your palms upwards again, like what we did earlier. This time on your inhale, start to lift your chest up. Stretch your arms back. Okay, so lifting chest forwards and upwards, maybe looking up. On exhale, seated cat, round your back. Press the hands away from your face as you keep your upper arms next to your ears. Okay, maybe bring the chin closer to your chest. Nice. Now inhale back to center, neutral. Exhale, you're going to twist the other side. Lower your left hand down to your right leg, right hand on the mat behind your back. Okay, take another inhale here, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, gently twisting from your navel upwards. Okay, so left hand is lightly pressing into your right leg and perhaps looking past your right shoulder. Inhale, release your twist back to the center. Stretch your arms overhead once more. Another round of seated cat and cow. Okay, so interlacing the fingers. Flip your palms up towards the ceiling. Stretch up. Next inhale, lift your chest forwards and upwards. Stretch back and maybe looking upwards. Exhale, you're going to round into a seated cat. Round your back. Press the hands away from you. Bring chin closer to your chest. Spreading the shoulder blades away from each other. Nice. Now inhale back to center, back to neutral. Release your hands down to cactus. Moving along, can you now cross your right hand on top of your left? Okay, so eagle arms. Again, for today, at least try to take a single bind. Okay, so maybe pressing the back of your hands against each other. So if your hands don't touch, you can always just stay in this X shape. Otherwise, press the back of your hands together. Now that's option 1. Option 2, to move into a double bind, you're going to keep your palms facing outwards and wrap your wrists around each other. Okay, so note that this is different from turning your hands in and bringing your palms to touch this way. Again, so palms facing out, wrap your wrists around. And I say, so eagle arms, Garudasana. And then you're going to lift your elbows up slightly, and maybe to the height of your shoulders, and gently move your forearms away from your face. Okay, shoulders are soft. Okay, you're not shrugging the shoulders, shoulders down. Nice, keep your spine neutral. Adding on from here, can you now tilt your forearms down towards your right side? Again, so it's not a big movement. Tilt to the right. And just making sure left shoulder isn't hiking up. Okay, so keep left shoulder down away from ears. And lower the head down towards your left shoulder now. Okay, so hands and head moving in opposite direction. So feel as though you're going to bring your left ear to touch your left shoulder. Inhale, center. Slowly release your hands back to cactus. Other side. Okay, crossing left hand on top of right. Again, so try your best. Maybe single bind. Hands don't necessarily have to touch. If you can, great, touch them. Option 2, double bind. Again, lifting elbows up slightly. Garudasana hands. Forearms away from your face. Shoulders down. Nice. Now let's add on. Start to tilt forearms down towards your left now. Again, so shoulders are the same height. And gently lower your right ear towards your right shoulder. Nice. Now inhale back to center. Back to cactus. Gomukhasana hand now. So with your right shoulder, you're going to internally rotate the right shoulder, keeping a soft bend in your elbow. Bring your right hand around the back. Okay, so your right palm will be facing out. Okay, so just to show you from a back view, so let me move the block away. Okay, so right palm will be facing outwards. Okay, if you need to, use your left elbow to just help to guide your right elbow in. Wiggle the palm up between the shoulder blades a little bit more. And stretching your left hand up, bend your left elbow and see if you can catch hold of your fingers. Okay, so if this is a little bit challenging, take your towel, hold it with your left hand and you pass it to your right hand. Okay, so you want your left elbow to be pointing upwards. Nice, okay, so right shoulder head back. You're not collapsing to the chest here. Right shoulder head back. Pulling, whether it's your towel or your fingers, energetically apart. Nice, like you want to split your hands like you want to pull the towel apart. Nice, if you can, maybe bringing the left forearm to the back of your head. Hold here. Okay, so cow face, hands, Gomukhasana. Gently releasing your bind. Come back to cactus. Let's do the same for the other side. Okay, so internally rotate the left shoulder. Keep a soft bend in your elbow as you wrap your hand around the back. Again, if you need to, just adjust. Wiggle the left palm up between the shoulder blades. Stretch your right hand up, take your time. Okay, bend at your elbow and reach for your fingers or towel. Okay, so again, so tendency is for the left shoulders to be collapsing, popping forward. Draw that left shoulder head back. Lightly pulling the fingers apart or trying to pull the towel apart energetically. And again, maybe bringing your right forearm to the back of your head. And release your hands. Okay, from here, come on down onto your belly. Okay, so just lie down onto your belly. Nice, now once you're on your belly, locust. Okay, so with your legs just about hip width distance, stretch your hands beside your body. You're going to do this in 2 rounds. Okay, for the first round, on your next inhale, can you lift your chin, lift your chest, reach your fingers towards your feet. Okay, so you want to think about squeezing shoulder blades closer together, fingers back, and lift both your legs up. Okay, so as you're lifting your legs, it's as though you have a block between your thighs. Okay, so squeeze that imaginary block. Chest up, shoulders away from ears. Hold here. Nice, and slowly release. Come back down. All right, second round. Interlacing fingers behind your back now. Okay, so if it's hard to interlace your fingers, grab hold of your towel. Okay, otherwise interlace your fingers and perhaps bringing palms together to touch. We're going to start with bent arms first. Okay, so bend your elbows and feel as though you have a block between your arms now. Can you squeeze that imaginary block? Nice. Now keeping this, lift your chin, lift your chest, like what we just did earlier, and start to stretch your knuckles towards your feet while keeping that imaginary block between your arms. Can you lift both your legs up? Okay, so again, so you still have that block between your arms, stretch back, shoulder heads back, chest lifting forwards and upwards, still keeping your ribs and belly in and hold. Nice. Gently release. Hands on the mat beside your chest. Slowly push yourself back up to a tabletop and straight into your plank. Okay, so stacking shoulders on top of your wrists. Straight legs, high push-up position. Okay, so plank pose again. Weight-bearing pose. Remember to grip the mat with all 10 finger pads here. Press the floor away and keep your upper back broad. From plank, lift your hips high, finding your first downward facing dog. Okay, so let's try to maybe maintain that distance between your hands and feet. Then you can either stay in stillness and down dog. Maybe you can start to paddle your legs. Okay, so just warming up your calves, hamstrings, ankles. Okay, you could also be lifting both your heels as you lower your heels down to your right, center, and to the left. Okay, so some of you might also wish to just shake and nod your head very gently. Okay, so down dog, remember, hands are strong, press the floor away. Keep your upper back broad. So it doesn't matter if your heels can't touch the mat. Again, you can always bend your knees, keep your heels up. So important, you still want to lengthen through your spine. You're not rounding your back in your down dog. Next, now finding stillness if you haven't done so in your down dog. From here, look forward at your hands. You're going to gently step right foot forward. Okay, so if the foot doesn't end up between your hands straight away, remember, just pick the foot up with your right hand and shift the right foot forward. Lower the left knee down to the floor. Press your palms into your right thigh as you lift your chest up. Anjaneyasana. Okay, so hips are squaring forward. So descend the hips a little bit more. Then once you're ready, stretch both your arms up. Nice, okay, so reach out to your fingertips, lengthen again. So sides of your waist long as you sit the hips down. Repeating what we did earlier in locust. Interlacing the fingers behind your back. Okay, so palms to touch if you can. Keep a bent elbows, bend your elbows and squeeze your elbows together energetically, again, like you have a block between your upper arms. From here, start to straighten your hands. Okay, so chest is broad, lift your chest. Now legs again, you're hugging thighs together. You're dragging your feet together energetically and breathe. Nice, now release your hands. Hands to your hips now. Tuck your back toes if you haven't done so. You're going to lift your left knee and come into a high lunge. So push down through both feet. Slowly straighten your left leg. Okay, so feet hip width, hips squaring forward. Stay high on the back foot. Stretch your arms up. Okay, so just notice that right knee is pointing the same direction as your second toe. Squeeze the legs together. Lengthen upper body upwards. Repeating your bind with already done. Can you now take your right hand behind your back? Okay, so Gomukhasana hand. So your right hand is below. Again, if you need to, left hand can just help to guide your right elbow in. Wiggle the palm up. And then slowly bend at your left elbow and reach for your fingers or hold a towel or strap. Okay, so pull your fingers apart energetically. Nice, left elbow points up. Maybe bringing the left forearm behind your head. Okay, nice. Are you straightening your right leg? If you are, can you bend into your right knee more? Straighten the left leg more, breathe. Gently release your bind. So that was tough. Stretch your arms up, inhale. And on your exhale, hands on the mat. Step right leg back, downward facing dog. Okay, so take your right leg back and pause here. Okay, so finding that inverted V. And just take this time to recenter. Bring the awareness back to your breath. Nice, now look forward at your hands. Step left foot forward, slowly, softly. Lower the right knee down to the floor. Inhale, lift your chest up. Anjaneyasana. Okay, so palms can stay on your left thigh for a while as you set up this low lunge. Squaring the hips to the front. Once you're ready, stretch both your arms overhead towards the ceiling. Breathe. Nice. Okay, can you now reach your hands behind your back? Interlacing the fingers. Again, if you want, you can do the awkward clasp. So you might be shifting your fingers one finger down. Bend at your elbows. Squeeze your elbows energetically together, again, like you have a block between your upper arms. And then from here, start to straighten your hands back. Okay, so chest is lifted. You're keeping your ribs and belly in. Breathe here. Okay, so legs are still active. Squeeze everything, left to right, front to back. Release your hands, hands to hips. Tuck your right toes. High lunge. Because as you push down through the ball of your right foot, lift your right leg from low to high. So at this point, you should already have your feet at hip width. Can you bend your left knee more? Maybe keeping your knee as low as your left hip. Stretch both your arms up. Nice. Now let's move on to our Gomukhasana hands. Internally rotate your left shoulder this time. So left hand is going to be below. Reach your left hand to the back. Again, maybe wiggle your hand up between your shoulder blades. Bend at your right elbow as you catch hold of your fingers. Or towel. You're lightly pulling the fingers apart energetically with right elbow pointing up. And again, perhaps pressing the back of your head lightly against your right forearm. Nice, now releasing your bind, stretch your arms up on your inhale. And on your exhale, hands on the mat. Step your left leg back, downward facing dog. Okay, so anytime you need, you're welcome to take child's pose. And then once you're ready, just join us again. Okay, so down dog again, you're lifting through your forearms, pressing the floor away, lifting your bum high towards the ceiling. Okay, let's move along. Look forward at your hands. Step right foot forward, slowly. Warrior one this time. So can you ground your back foot? Okay, so your left toes, you want to turn them forward at an angle. Okay, like you're facing a 10 or 11 o'clock direction. Push down through your feet. Hands can be on your hips for now. Inhale, lift your chest up. Okay, so right knee is pointing forward, Vira one. Ground on through the outer edge of your left foot. If you can, bend the right knee a little bit more and stretch both your arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, so if your left outer edge of your left foot is off the mat, press it down. As you reach your arms up, again, hands can be shoulder width. Maybe hands touching, yogi's choice. Pause here. Nice, now let's add in a bind. So there's a variation with when a bind is included. Cactus your arms, Garudasana. Crossing right hand on top of your left. Single bind, option one. Option two, double bind. Okay, so lifting elbows up slightly with hands away from your face, shoulders down. Nice, again, just stay here, breathe. Feel that broadness in your upper back. Continue to bend into your right knee a little bit more. Nice, now from here, hold the bind. Just shift your right foot about 1 inch out towards your right side. Humble warrior. Okay, on your next inhale, lift your chest. Just a very gentle back bend. Exhale, you're going to fold forward. So as you fold forward, you're not resting on your right thigh. Try your best to fold forwards and inwards. So the right shoulder is inside of your right knee, reaching forward and maybe bringing the forearms closer to the floor. I say, hey, so as you go closer to the floor, your right knee is still pointing to the front. Okay, so the knee is not moving along with your upper body. Nice, now root down through all corners of your feet, and as though you want to crumple the mat between your legs, drag your heels together. Nice, now you're going to come back up to a warrior one with your bind. Push down through your feet, slowly rise back up. I know coming up is not easy. Take your time. Slowly come back up. Release your bind as you place your hands on your hips now. Shorten the distance between your feet slightly, so left foot, take half a step forward. Square off your hips, okay, so feet will be hip width. So your right heel lines up with right hip, left heel with left hip, straight legs. Pyramid pose with a bind. Let me just turn to face you from the back. Can you reach your arms back this way? Bend at your elbows and see if you're able to hold opposite arms. That's option 1. Option 2, do the same thing, reach your hands back. Bend at your elbows, a little bit more challenging now. Flip your palms and see if you're able to bring your palms to touch. Okay, so that's a reverse namaste. If this is too much for you, just hold opposite elbows. Okay, it's the same thing. So reverse namaste. For those who can, again, maybe wiggle your hands a little bit higher. Nice, now shoulder heads are not dipping. Shoulder heads back. Whether your hands are in reverse namaste or opposite elbows. Square hips to the front. Take an inhale here, lengthen. Exhale, we're going to fold. Okay, so as we're folding forwards, remember you're tipping forward from your hips, keeping your hips even. Okay, you're not shifting, hips are level. Another inhale here, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Okay, so as you're folding, again, maybe belly to your thigh. Okay, so notice if your shoulder heads are dipping. Shoulder heads stay lifted. Nice. Legs are still strong. Drag your heels together. Now, right leg is straight, but you're not locking that right knee. So soften that knee. Think about contracting your right thigh muscles more. Breathe here. Nice. I'll look forward. Just gaze past your right toes. Release your bind. Hands on the mat. Step back. Downward facing dog. Nice, okay, so down dog again. Just adjust your distance. Anytime you need, feel free to take a plank, roughly, adjust the distance between your hands and feet, and then once you're ready, go back to a down dog. Looking forward at your hands. Step your left foot forward. Big step now. Warrior 1. Okay, so right foot is flat. Push down through your feet. Hands on hips, slowly rise up. Okay, so turning your right foot, again, it's like facing 1 or 2 o'clock direction now. Okay, so hips are facing forward, might not be totally square. Stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, so lengthening again, upper body upwards. Bend into your left knee a little bit more. Nice, now can we take a cactus arms, and then we move on to Garudasana. Okay, so crossing left hand on top of right. Single bind, double bind. Lifting elbows up slightly with hands away from your face and shoulders down. Stay here for a moment again. Enjoy the pose. Take this time to also notice the quality of your breath. If it's a little bit hurried, can you try to slow it down? Nice. Now from here, shift the left foot again, just a tiny bit towards your left side. Inhale, gentle back bend. Lift your chest. Exhale, bow forward. Again, you're not aiming to get your elbows on your knee. You're trying to get your left shoulder inside of your left thigh as you reach the forearms as close to the mat as you can. Okay, so if it's not touching, it's okay, we'll get there. General direction again towards the mat. So your knee is pointing forward. Your back leg is still strong. You're still pressing down through the outer edge of your foot. And finally, think about squeezing your left hip back towards your right foot. Okay, so left hip, squeeze it back towards your right foot, hold. Nice, you're going to come back up to a Warrior 1 with Garudasana hands. Okay, so push out through your feet, slowly rise back up. All right, how are you doing, guys? Okay, so release your bind, hands on hips. Shorten the distance slightly between your feet. Okay, so right foot, half a foot forward. So it's about 3 to 4 feet distance, not too narrow. Square hips to the front. Okay, so hip bones are facing forward evenly. Again, reach your arms back. Option 1, hold opposite elbows. Option 2, reverse namaste. Okay, so pressing palms together. Again, no force. If this is challenging, go for option 1 instead. Shoulder heads back. Take an inhale here, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, slowly. Nice, another inhale here, lengthen through your spine. And then on your exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Okay, so if your left hip has started to shift forward, you want to draw your left hip back. Your legs are straight, but not hyperextending. Drag the heels together. Shoulder head stay lifted, and breathe. Nice, I'll look forward slightly. Release your hands down to the floor. Step your left leg back, downward facing dog. Go back. Nice, again, so down dog. Just bring the awareness back to your breath. And maybe just practice again, same count breathing, like what we did at the start of the class. Nice, so moving along, look forward at your hands. Step right foot forward. Slowly. Drop your left knee down to the mat. Okay, you're going to come up into a modification of your warrior two. Okay, so to come up, can you please turn your left foot out towards the right side edge of the mat? Okay, so my left foot is going to be behind your left knee. Hands can press into your right thigh. Slowly lift your chest up. Ta-da! Okay, so hips should be facing the left side edge of the mat. Now try to line up your right heel with your left knee. So you might need to walk your right foot a little bit closer towards the left side edge of the mat. Right toes are pointing forward. You can try to tuck your left toes. We're going to be staying here for a while, so if you need to, place a towel underneath your left knee. Now left hand holds left hip. For the next few moments, again, just going to ease into the pose. Start to bend into your right knee more as you shift your hips forward. Nice, and come back. 2 more just like this. Bend into your right knee more, shift the hips forward. And come back to center. Last round. Slowly shift the hips forward and come back. Nice, okay, so keep the shape of your legs. Stretch your arms out sideways again. So this is like your warrior two, just with that left knee on the mat. Okay, we take a bind here. Left hand, internally rotate the shoulder. Again, so bend at your elbow, wrap your left hand around the back. Okay, so if you're able to, maybe the fingers you can be holding on to your right inner thigh. If you can't reach, it's okay. Hand might just be around the back. Left shoulder stays away from left ear. Flip your right palm up on your inhale. We're going to reverse. On your exhale, reach your right arm overhead. Okay, so as you reach your right hand overhead, you're reaching the right hand towards the back edge of the mat. Nice, now roll right shoulder back. Keep your left shoulder away from left ear, okay, so it's not shrugging. If you can, side bend a little bit more. Maybe looking upwards, look forwards, or look down. Okay, so reverse warrior with half bind. Next inhale, rise back up. Release your bind, stretch your arms out sideways, coming back to a warrior two. Left hand holds your left hip, right shoulder. Turn the right shoulder downward, so internally rotate. Bend at your elbow again. You're going to place your right palm on your lower back. Okay, so we're not going for shoulder blades, just keep it as small of your back. A shoulder stretch or shoulder opener. Think about now reaching forward as you try to bring your right elbow inside of your right knee. Right inner thigh, okay, more accurately. Okay, so reach your elbow forward. Try to snuggle your elbow inside of your right inner thigh. Nice, you may be starting to feel a lot now with your right shoulder. Okay, so right shoulder head is not popping forward. Plug it back. Okay, keep the right shoulder head back. Once you're here, stretch your left hand overhead. Okay, so it's a side angle shape. Reaching the fingers to the front, right shoulder hip back. Breathe here again. You could be looking up, look forward, look down. Okay, so just think about resisting. So right arm is resisting, right thigh. Breathe. Nice, now inhale back up to center. Can we put everything together? Left hand, let's take a half bind first. Okay, so left hand goes around the back. Right hand, I'm going to give you option 1. Right forearm on your right thigh. So this is a supported side angle with a half bind. Option 2, maybe take your block. You're going to lower your hand down to the block. Okay, so this is a good place to stay. Oops. For those who can, you might be resting your right fingers on the mat inside of your right foot. Now, option 3, like what we just did earlier with the hand around that back, we're going to do the same thing with your right arm. Internally rotate the right shoulder, bend at your elbow. You're going to wrap your right hand around the thigh. Okay, so similar action. This action, we're going to go for wrapping around your thigh. Nice, nice. You reach your right hand back. See if you're able to hold either your left wrist, okay, or maybe your left fingers. Now, if your hands don't quite touch, grab your towel. Do the same thing again. Wrap your left hand around, holding onto the towel. Right hand goes underneath your right thigh. You're going to pass that towel to your right hand, okay, so you have something to pull on. Okay, so for the other side, don't worry, I will show you from the other view, so it might be a little bit clearer. Okay, so you're lifting the chest. That's the tough part. Okay, it's not a humble warrior, not folding forward, so chest lifts, left shoulder hit back. Right arm is still resisting your right thigh. So this is a full bind already. Breathe. Gently release your bind. Remove your towel. Hands on the mat. Stepping back. Downward facing dog. Okay, so press the floor with your palms. Step back. Come back to your inverted V. Nice. Now let's do the other side. Look forward at your hands. Step left foot forward. Drop your right knee down. Okay, you're going to turn that right foot out towards the left side edge of the mat. Okay, so your right foot is like a kickstand. Hands can press into your left thigh. Just give you that little lift upwards, turning your body towards the right side edge of the mat. Okay, so just try to line up your left heel with your right knee. Stretch your arms out sideways. Okay, so for this left side, again, you're going to see everything clearly from the back. From here now, let's take a half bind first. So right hand goes, oh, sorry, I missed one step. Okay, so right hand holds right hip, left hand on your left leg. Again, let's ease into the pose first. Moving your hips forward, bending to your left knee more, and back to center. Okay, so 2 more rounds like this. Bending to your left knee a little bit more, and come back. Last set, bending to your left knee. So the hips lower, and come back to center. Nice, now once you're back to center, stretch your arms out sideways. Okay, for real now, take your right hand around the back, finding that half bind. You're gonna flip your left palm up, inhale, exhale, reverse your warrior. Stretch left arm overhead. Okay, so right shoulder away from right ear. Continue to point your left knee forward. Again, option to look up, look forward, look downwards, breathe. Nice, now inhale back up to center, warrior 2. Okay, so release your hands first. Right hand holds right hip. Left hand, internally rotate. You're going to bring the hand just at your lower back and not too high. Think side angle. You're going to lean forward. Try to get your left elbow inside of your left knee. Okay, so if you need to, just snuggle the elbow inside of your left knee. Elbow is pressing to your thigh. Nice, okay, and left shoulder hit back. Once you're ready, stretch your right arm overhead. Okay, so right finger is reaching towards the front. Right shoulder away from right ear. Nice, okay, so left shoulder away, or left shoulder hit back. Nice, now inhale back up to center, warrior 2. Again, putting everything together. Right hand around the back first, half bind. Option 1, half bind side angle, supported. Left forearm on left thigh. Option 2, left fingers on the mat, or even left hand on the block inside of your left foot. Option 3, for a full bind. Internally rotate your left shoulder. Wrap your left hand around your left thigh. Again, if you're able to, you might be holding onto your fingers for today. Maybe holding onto your right wrist. If you need a strap, grab it. Hold the towel strap with your right hand. Do the same thing as what we did earlier. And pass that towel to your left hand. Okay, so chest lifts, right shoulder hit back. Okay, if you're able to, maybe try to think about straightening your right hand a little bit more. So you're going to tuck the right hand downwards. Continue to rotate or revolve your left rib under and up. Releasing your bind slowly. Both hands on the mat. Step your left leg back. Downward facing dog. Go back. Nice, again, your down dog. Reset here. Check in with your breath. Nice, we're going to do the next few poses on the floor. Look forward at your hands. You're going to bring your right shin forward. Okay, so you're going to set up a pigeon pose. Bringing that right knee behind your right wrist. For today's pigeon, the shin doesn't have to be parallel to the top edge of the mat, so keep your right heel closer to your left hip bone. Slide your left leg back. Okay, so just pointing that right knee out towards the right side a little bit more, so it's like facing 1 or 2 o'clock direction. Squaring your hips forward. Nice, okay, so if your right hip isn't on the floor, it's okay. Okay, just continue to squeeze your knees together. Now adding on from here, left forearm on the mat. Nice, okay, so left elbow. Reaching your right hand back, same way we've been doing throughout the class today. Internally rotate your right shoulder, bend at your elbow, wrap your right hand around the back. Now see if you're able to grab hold of your right foot. Okay, so maybe it's on the foot, maybe you're just slightly touching. You could also just be placing your hand around the back, totally fine. Nice, and once you're ready, you can inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, twisting towards your right side. Okay, so it's a half bind pigeon twist. Okay, so twisting torso towards your right. You're pressing the floor away through your left forearm. Lift your chest, right shoulder away from right ear. Nice, and release your bind slowly. Both hands back onto the mat. We're going to do this as an individual pose. Can you step back now to a downward facing dog? Okay, so lift your left knee, step your right foot back. Other side, look forward at your hands. Bring your left knee forward. Okay, so placing left knee behind left wrist. Left heel closer to your right hip bone. Square your hips forward. Okay, so left knee is more towards a 10 or 11 o'clock direction now. Slowly lower down to your right forearm. Nice. Okay, so reaching your left hand back. Internally rotate. Bend at your elbow. Hand goes around the back and maybe holding on to your left foot. Okay, left toe, left foot. Nice. Now press the floor with your right forearm. Take an inhale, you lengthen. Exhale, you're going to twist torso towards your left side. Nice. Okay, so left hip will want to lift. Can you ground down to your left sitting bone? Twist your torso towards your left. Breathe here. Nice. Now releasing your bind slowly. For this side, instead of stepping back to a down dog, just walk your hands back towards your shin. Lean the weight to your left hip and straighten both your legs to the front. Ta-da. Okay, so Dandasana. So sitting up tall, again, this is your home base, like down dog. Okay, so hands can be on the mat. Press your fingertips down to the floor. Sit up a little bit taller as you point both your toes up. One more bind, your seated bind. Marichasana A. Bend your right knee. Draw your right heel closer to your bum. Okay, so leaving a fist gap distance between your legs. I'm going to turn it around so it's a little bit clearer. Okay, so right heel closer to bum. Fist gap distance between your legs. Can you hold on to your right shin with your left hand? Stretching your right hand up on your inhale. On your exhale, you're going to reach your right hand forward. Okay, so it's as though you want to grab something in front. Okay, so again, your right arm is inside of your right knee. Now to move into a bind from here, internally rotate that right shoulder, bend at your elbow, and wrap your right hand around the shin. Okay, nice. So right hand is going around the shin, and maybe hand could be on your back now. Do the same thing with your left hand, same internal rotation. Wrap your left hand around, and maybe, again, you could be holding onto your left wrist, left fingers, maybe a towel. Now square shoulders forward. Okay, so I'm not lifting left shoulder up. We're not doing this. Shoulders are even. Body facing front. Take another inhale here. Exhale, you're going to fold forward. Okay, so again, it doesn't matter if your belly is nowhere near your left thigh. Okay, so that's just the action of folding forwards. Okay, keep your left foot flexed. Dig down through your left heel. Reaching, crown of your head forwards while keeping your collarbones broad. Nice, now inhale, come back out to center, slowly. Release your bind. Other leg. Straightening your right leg first. Bend the left knee. Again, so bring the heel closer to your bum. Leave a fist gap distance between your legs. Right hand holds your left shin. Stretch left hand up on your inhale. Exhale, again, you reach your left hand forward. So arm is inside of your knee. Reach forward until you cannot reach anymore. Okay, so internally rotate that left shoulder, wrapping your hand around the knee. Do the same thing for the other side. Okay, so if you can, maybe hold on to fingers, maybe holding onto your right wrist, or towel. Again, hold a towel. Shoulders are even, shoulders are level. Okay, now the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Okay, so just try to keep your left knee hugging inwards. Okay, so knee closer to your left armpit. Reaching the crown of your head forwards. Breathe. Nice, now inhale slowly. Rise back up. Releasing your bind. From here, fold your right heel in. Find a butterfly pose. Okay, so bring the soles of your feet together as close to your groin area as possible. Okay, press the heels together, press the little toes onto the mat. Okay, and stretch out through your inner thighs out to your knees. Okay, if you have your knees quite far away from the floor and you're rounding, take a block, sit on the block, and just stay here. Don't have to forward fold. If your knees are a little bit closer to the floor and you're still okay to continue, take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Okay, so tipping forward from your hips. Maybe lowering down to your forearms. Or you can stay here, or maybe choose to walk your hands forward with forehead on the mat. Okay, so take any option. Again, wherever you are, think about pressing heels together. Press your little toes onto the floor. Breathe. Okay, don't start folding forwards. Try to keep the sitting bones heavy so you're not lifting the bum of the mat. Nice, now slowly come back up. Just walk your hands back towards your feet. Lift your knees. Okay, just position your feet to be about hip width distance and parallel to each other. Lie down onto your back. Okay, so setting up our legs for bridge pose. Okay, so just walk your feet in closer towards your bum. So roughly, you want to see if your fingers can touch your heels. Okay, roughly. Push down through your feet. Start to lift your hips. Lift the lower back, upper back. Lift your chest towards your chin. Okay, so using your mindset, can you just try to stack your knees on top of ankles? Now, option 1, you can have your hands on the mat like that. Option 2, interlacing the fingers beneath your back as you start to walk elbows and arm bones closer together. So push down through your feet more, lifting the chest up. Okay, so think about, again, that imaginary block between your thighs. You're pressing down through your feet and energetically forward. Okay, so I know it's a lot of cues to absorb. Just absorb what you can. Slowly release the bridge. Okay, so lower your body back down to the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. Once you're back onto the floor, bring your knees closer together. Stretch your arms out sideways. Okay, so body forms a letter T shape now. Okay, moving your hips a little to your right. Drop both your knees onto your left. Here, a supine twist. So as you lower your knees onto your left, still keep that right shoulder on the floor. Okay, so you're pressing the right shoulder down into the mat. Your left hand could be on your right thigh if you wish, or you can also just stretch your hands out to the side. And can you perhaps bring the knees a bit closer towards your chest or belly? Nice, now hips are even, so you're not hiking your right hip up. Draw that right hip downwards energetically. Inhale back to center. Other side, moving the hips a little to your left first. And lower your knees down to the right. And look past your left shoulder. Okay, so if you're experiencing a little bit of a lower back discomfort, try moving the hips more towards your left. Pressing the back of your left shoulder down to the floor. Drawing your knees closer to your chest or belly. Come back to center. Hug both your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins and hold on to opposite elbows or forearms. Gently lifting your head, bringing the forehead or nose to your knees. Okay, so just hugging tight like a ball. And let it go. Shavasana. Hey, if you arrive at your final and most important pose, hey, take your time to separate your feet to about mat width distance. Hands away from your body. Just let your toes turn out, fingers curl naturally. Gently close your eyes. Relaxing once again the space between your eyebrows. Relaxing your jaw. Just let go of your practice as you allow your body to absorb whatever you've done in the last 45 minutes. As always, if you have a little bit more time to spare at home, please stay longer in Shavasana. Otherwise, start to draw the awareness back to your body as you deepen your breath. Move your fingers, move your toes. Bring your legs together. Stretch your arms overhead, interlace your fingers and flip the palms upwards. You're going to point your toes too as you take a big inhale and give yourself a nice, good stretch. And on your exhale, release. Bend both your knees. Roll over to your right side. Okay, resting on your right upper arm for a very short while in the fetal position. Take your time, push yourself back up to any comfortable seat facing the front, with your eyes still closed. You can either rest your palms on your knees, or join me in Anjali Mudra, hands at your heart center. Slowly bring the awareness back to your breath and back to this present moment on your mat by blinking your eyes open very, very gently. Namaste. Thank you everyone at home for joining me in class today, for watching. Okay, I hope you all have a great weekend ahead. Again, please stay safe and I'll see you guys next week, same time at 3 p.m. Thank you. Bye.